My name is Michael James Minnie. This is my daughter Trinity.
Trinity.
This is Why Does It Matter for the
19th Sunday in Ordinary Time.
And I'm going to talk to you a little bit about the readings this Sunday. And Trinity, what stuck out to you, especially in the Gospel?
So what stuck out to me in the Gospel especially was, in the Gospel, Jesus was telling his disciples this parable. And what stuck out to me most about the parable was he said, if the master knew what time the robber was coming, then he wouldn't let the robber break into his house. And I really like that. And it reminds me, there are times where I feel like I'm doing things that remain unseen, or sometimes I do things that I don't want other people to see. But it reminds me to stay vigilant, to try to be a good person, be a good Catholic, and remember that God is always watching me. Know that I should always be trying to do good things and be a good daughter because he sees it, and you don't want to be doing a really evil deed whenever he comes back home to bring us to his house.
And in the second reading, St. Paul has this great quote about faith. He says, faith is the realization of things hoped for and evidence of things not seen. Faith is the realization of things that hope for. It's the realization of the kingdom of heaven. Our faith, when we live lives that are faithful to God, when we live lives of fidelity, and we're faithful to be God's people, we are building up the kingdom on earth. We are God's hands and feet. We're Christ's hands and feet on earth. It's the realization of things hoped for and the expectation of things not seen. And so we can't see heaven, but there's it's the proof for heaven in a way. And I'll give you an example. For everything in this world that we have, for everything that we need, there's something that satisfies that need. So we are hungry, and there is the such thing as food that we eat with our mouths, and you put it in your mouth hole and it satisfies the hunger. And we get tired, and there's such thing as sleep, and you lay your head down and you go to sleep, and it satisfies that. And we need more people in this world, and so there's such thing as sex, right? Awkward. And that satisfies that need. But there's something that's deep in everyone's heart. There's a desire in everyone's heart for something greater. And that's, I think, evidence of heaven. Faith is the evidence of things not yet seen. And so when we live lives that are faithful, we're like that prudent servant that's waiting for their master's return.
In the lengthened version of the Gospel reading, it says right at the end, it basically says, to someone who has much, they have big expectations. They have much expectations.
To whom much is given, much is expected.
Mm-hmm. And I remember thinking...
it also talks about servants that are going to get beaten severely and less severely. We won't. To whom much is given, much is expected.
Exactly. To whom much is given, much is expected. And it makes me think of all the good things that I have in life. I have a good father, I have a good mother, I was raised in a good Catholic faith, I had a good education, I am an MJ of 7, I get to meet a lot of amazing people, go to a lot of amazing Catholic churches. And to whom much is given, much is expected. And I'm kind of expected to be a really good Catholic. I have to, since I know everything, I'm expected to act accordingly.
And to share that with people.
It's true, yeah. I'm expected to share that with people, and so it helps me. It reminds me a lot of things that I try to do to try to be better. I try to share my faith with my friends. I try to be loving to my parents in return. I try to be a good student. I try to play music well, and I try to be nice to everyone. To whom much is given, much is expected.
And I think you do a great job.
Oh, thank you.
So make sure you go to Mass this Sunday. Go to Mass.
Go to God.